Hey guys, welcome to the show. This is the first episode of our new horror review show called Horror Fanatics Review. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh god, not another review show. Well, I tried to do something a little different with this one. In the past, I've seen review shows where people just sit here talking to a camera and they'll show maybe the video, hold up the DVD or whatever, and be like, okay, I liked this or I didn't like this. And I really don't get into those review shows. It's not exciting to me. So we tried to make things a little more interesting. I wanted to do a show where people watched the movies and react to them in real time. Now we're not gonna just do modern horror films, we're gonna watch some old horror films too. But if things go well, then we'll continue doing this. I mean, it's just to test it first, to see if anybody likes it, and if nobody likes it, no harm done, I just move on to something else. But if people like it, then we'll keep going. So far, we're only going to be releasing one episode a month. We'll see how that goes. And if you guys like it, please give a like and subscribe for more if you'd like more. Also, leave comments in the section below to let us know how we're doing, and if you have any recommendations on new movies that you want us to watch, or even if you just want to make a comment, or even throw us some hate. I don't care. Anyways, tonight for the first episode, we have decided to do an all-time favorite, which is one of my friend Jason Hutchins' favorite films. He said it was the one that got him onto horror. Tonight, me, Jordan, and Jason will be watching Halloween.
Oh, look, he's a tree hugger.
Right?
I'm just gonna hug this tree.
I like you, tree. I like trees. I like green.
Walks over to him. You guys done a solid job on planting this tree. It's real nice.
This tree doesn't wiggle at all.
I can stand me all creepy like.
Sheriff.
You gotta make sure you know who showed up,
Right.
Could be anybody, but
Anybody live here? No, not since
this part's actually pretty
when it
deep,
happened.
though.
Every kid in Haddonfield thinks this place is haunted. Then maybe like.
I think this solidified Donald Pleasance's role in this whole entire series.
What is that? Oh. It's still warm. He got hungry. Could have been a skunk. Could have. Mary wouldn't do that. This isn't a lab.
Stairs. I'll bet you that wasn't even the stairs. I'll bet you they added that sound effect in somewhere. This sounds good.
That's a good sound there, man. We should put that in the movie.
She was sitting right here.
Yes, it's gotta be.
Seen it through the screen.
Oh my gosh.
Standing on the
It's
lawn.
the same board
You
critic.
could have seen inside.
Oh shit! I wasn't even looking at the. Why does the doctor have a gun?
He's not a doctor.
You must think me.
He's a psychiatrist, so
Doctor.
he is a doctor.
Oh,
This part though, this whole line, man.
He's like, oh, I do have
Seems
a
to me you're just plain scared.
yes. Yeah, I am. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
And his
What do we
name was
do?
John Cena.
He's been here once tonight.
That line's pretty deep though. I remember the first time I heard that, it put
I still
chills
think
up
I
my
should
spine.
notify the radio and
Holy
television.
man.
If you do that, they'll see him on every street corner.
It's a
They'll
perfect
look for him in
description
every
of it.
house. Just tell your men to keep their mouths shut and their eyes open.
Oops. Hold on a minute. Hi, Lester. I'm about to be ripped apart by the family dog.
I don't know why that's so funny to her.
She's high. She's high. She's like, you
Lindsay,
said dog.
Get this dog out of the kitchen right
I
now.
know. I'm not getting her to move, she's froze.
I hate that dog. I'm the only person in the world he doesn't like.
Really?
So what is this big news?
Surprise.
What would you say if I told you that you were going to the homecoming dance tomorrow night?
What would you say if I told
Probably
you
say I had
that
the
you
wrong
are
number.
wrong?
Well, I just talked with Ben Tramer, and he got real excited when I told him how attracted you were to him.
Gross.
Oh, you didn't. Please tell me. Do that.
Yeah.
And how could you just call it?
There's Luke Skywalker.
I can't believe it.
Oh wait, wrong theme song.
Is he an astronaut or something?
Please tell me.
Probably. Check out the socks.
He's like,
He's like, well, now you went and messed everything up.
an asthmatic peeping Tom.
Dude, that was a good quality pop, man.
Fuck this plant in particular.
I'll get your attention.
Oh man.
Yeah, this part kind of pisses me off, I'm not gonna lie. Hello there, Sparky.
Lindsay, Lester's barking again and getting on my nerves again.
I'm pouring baking powder
Never
over my
mind.
popcorn again.
Guess you found a hot date.
Yep,
Poor dog.
that's why I warned you guys. Yep. Gun. Killed the dog. Get the door open.
Oh, Tommy, stop it. Tommy, stop it. Now, there's nobody out there. There's no boogeyman, and if you don't stop all this, I'm going to have to turn off the TV and send you to bed.
Nobody believes me. I believe you, Tommy.
I believe you, Tommy. Even that I didn't see it, I believe you.
Even though you were just trying to scare me, Tommy, I'm gonna come to
I
your
believe
rescue.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like seeing Santa Claus. You know, hey, I don't believe, you know, I didn't see him, but I believe you there. I know, she's just like randomly like, I believe you.
Yeah.
Joker.
The other day, Tommy, I saw an alien, so I believe you.
I love the look on his face right here. Like smiling at them, so he's like,
It's the creepiest smile, though.
Right?
It's not even like, hey, I did a good job. It's like, hey, boy,
She's like,
hey,
Right,
boy.
alright.
no, it's like
Nothing's going on except kids playing pranks, trick-or-treating, parking, getting high. I have a feeling that you're way off on this.
You have the wrong feeling.
You're not doing very much
not
to
a
prove
good
me
Jedi
wrong.
in training,
What
that's
more
what's
do
up.
you need?
Well, it's going to take more than fancy talk to keep me up all night crawling around these bushes.
I watched him for 15 years, sitting in a room, staring at a wall, not seeing the wall, looking past the wall, looking at this night, inhumanly patient,
More fantasy talk.
waiting for some secret, silent alarm to trigger him off. Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it, or you can help me to stop it.
More fancy talk. Doctor, you know what Haddonfield is? Families, children, all lined up in rows, up and down these streets. You're telling me they're lined up for
More
a
fancy
slaughterhouse?
talk. It's like, I'm trying to tell you that people are going to
I'll
die.
stay with you tonight.
I know, you think
Just
you
for
have
the
more
chance
sense
that
than
you're right.
but
And if you are right, damn you for letting him go.
It's not like he had a choice in the matter.
yeah, he kind of warned people and no one listened to him.
I think I had an uncle that actually, you know what? He reminds me. He dresses like Ted Bundy.
He does, actually. Dang, I didn't notice that till you just said it. That's creepy.
Totally silly. Put me down. It's totally dark.
Yeah.
Totally
No kidding.
dark.
Probably because the lights are off.
Annie, we're here.
Hours of observation serve you well, Sherlock.
It's totally dark. So turn on a light.
God said let there be light, and there was. 60 glowing watts of it.
Fry your retina with.
Yeah. You know LASIK? That's where they got that idea from. Hold still there, Jim. I'm gonna concentrate that right on your eyeball.
Try not to look directly into the light.
This is probably one of my favorite kills, honestly, in this movie. Bobby boy.
Who left this door open?
Annie?
Oh, you're not there? Bye.
Linda, you asshole.
Just the sheer basic, like, just how they did this thing is genius. Hey. Wow, choices. This is pretty cool.
You know this song? Daniel. Bye. Bye.
He's like, eeny,
You weren't that good lover. I mean,
wonder where
you
my
deserve
knife
to
should
die.
go.
Check this out, though. I mean, that's pretty impressive, you know?
Right?
Like, picked him up and then pinned him to the wall like that. It's pretty cool.
Operator.
Hello? All right, Annie. First I get your famous chewing, now I get your famous squealing. And are you all right?
I hate
Are you
that
fooling
at the end
around
where she,
again?
like, exaggerates that.
I'll kill you if this is
you
a
know,
joke.
choking thing at the end. This is Jake from State Farm.
This is Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? Khakis.
Khakis.
Blue jumpsuit.
So,
Blue
she
jumpsuit.
sounds hideous.
Well, it is a serial killer, so. Well, it is Michael Myers, so.
Right. Standing there for hours just
Yeah.
in that one
And then
bush.
this is what I don't understand. All they did was turn around and he'd see the state car. It takes him all that time to finally turn around and be like, wait, what the? That's my car.
He's been standing there for hours and finally notices the car.
Seriously, he's been standing in that same spot for hours.
Kidding me? You didn't know that was a fucking purse?
It's a crochet bag, not a purse.
No, it was a purse. Like that's what it was, like 70s purse.
Watch later.
He pulls a crochet needle.
She pulls a crochet needle out of it. They did not have crochet needles in the purses back in the 80s. Oh.
Yes, they did.
My grandma did.
Why not?
My grandma was very
Exactly.
unique, though.
I mean, why not?
Your grandma probably was afraid she'd get robbed at the grocery store and have to stab somebody.
Like, dude,
That
I'm
sounds
fucking
like my
bored.
grandma, so...
Like,
I'm
some guy
fucking
comes
bored.
up
Let's
to him,
make a
give
car from
me
my
all your money. She's
grandson.
like, die, bitch.
2%, check this out. And another news today, man tries to rob grandma at the grocery store, crochet needle in the neck. Next time you try to think about robbing an old lady, she just might have a crochet needle on her.
You can just imagine the crime photos. Just lying there.
2% milk spilt all over the floor. Like, where does man? He's
Earlier
spilled the
today,
milk.
a man tried to rob an old woman who stabbed him to death with a crochet needle. His body was found with a lovely crochet scarf. With a lovely double knit scarf.
We're actually real impressed with her work on him. I mean, it was
Let me do it
good.
again.
The serial killing granny. She leaves a scarf as her
As her like trademark.
her scarf is her calling card.
Her calling card. Like, how do you know it was her? Scarf.
The granny dinner strikes again.
every one she kills is like scarf. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
She can knit one of those in 3 days, which means every 3 days there will be a murder.
Starting to get her MO. Every 3 days, somebody dies. This scarf. Quite colorful too, actually.
Daddy?
Doesn't have to do with anything. Man.
There's no blood found at the scene, but I will compliment on her straight, tight stitching there.
The crocheting expert on the scene. Yep, that's it right there. Mm-hmm. That's fine stitching. Like, there you have it, folks. Who is that guy? Is that an actual job? Or you just pick him off the street?
I'll tell you what, that's a
Alright.
fine crochet.
This is not fun.
There wasn't he hanging up right there? Stabbed and hanging up right there.
Yeah, he was.
He
Shouldn't there be like a blood stain or something?
Eddie!
Who put this hole in the wall?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, he's done put a hole in the cupboard door. Damn.
Alright, meatheads, joke's
My
over.
dad's gonna kill me when he gets home.
Not again.
Play this. Ooh. Second off, you'll be sorry. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. Like FBI interrogator material right there. You don't
Are
tell
you
me what
smoking
happened.
pot? Are you smoking
You don't
pot?
tell me where the serial killing grandma is right now. You be sorry. I'm about to turn off the TV and send you to bed. No, I don't tell you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Come at me again, why don't you? Like, whoa. Slow down. That's kind of creepy though, that staring. Yeah, this is when it like starts to get real.
You better tell me where the granny knit stopper is.
Eddie?
Or I swear I will mismatch your socks.
We're about to get real scary up in here. That movie's the best.
I love it. Oh,
My hair! They shot my hair! Sons of bitches. Yeah, that's pretty messed up right there.
He even spent money on her grave.
Oh, he just took it right out of the ground. Just pulled that sucker right out the dirt and stuck it on a bed. That's pretty messed up. Hey, you remember you were thinking where Bob was?
Wondered where Bob was.
3, 2,
Is
1.
alive?
What's up, Bob? And then your friend who got choked by the phone is going to be arriving in just a few seconds. Momentarily to the right, you will see.
Woo! I can see my nose.
I think I have a zit on my forehead.
So small.
Now this part's actually cool. I love the way they did this shot right here. Like the lighting
his
effect.
face
Yeah,
just shows
the lighting
up,
effect
yeah.
is legit right here. Like it's all dark and then all of a sudden,
Hey,
bam!
baby.
Watch. It's so cool. He just like yeah, boom!
Hey, baby. Come here.
Ow!
That's a long scream for such a short fall.
Right?
He's like, all right, I'm gonna cut you.
You just happy that Mike Myers is there.
That's what
It's
the
like
internet
Mike
looks like right
Myers.
there. Mic drop.
Right.
He's just stoked he found Michael Myers. Let him have his time. He's getting up there in age, all right.
She didn't got hurt.
No, she did. She cracks her ankle and there's a freaking stab on her arm right there. She got tore up in that house. Not in this.
Stop.
I'm gonna take a little walk.
Right there on her arm.
Yeah, like they did like.
I'm scared.
And then like little walk.
The knife.
And then
goes
guess who
from
walks
here
up
to
behind
there.
her?
And then when she falls down the stairs, she cracks her ankle.
Killed him.
So you're trying to walk on pretty
You
much a
can't
broken
kill the
ankle.
boogeyman.
That's messed up. Oh!
Get in there, come on, Tommy. Now lock the door.
But I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna fight him. Okay?
What else you can do? Jump off the balcony? I mean, but that's
She's
not
like,
gonna
okay, I
help.
left.
Oh.
But let's make all the
Now
noise.
Now this part. But this right here.
This scene.
This shows you how much of a badass she really is, though. Like, you gotta watch this.
She gets out with a cocaine.
I was like, what the heck is that noise?
No, just watch. You gotta watch this scene. This scene is amazing. Like, whatever think about that. I don't know. That's a flimsy closet, you know?
And yet he can't open it.
You look more badass when you can punch through the camera.
And she's like, ah! 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 Okay, you're not there.
Tangles this thing pretty quick too for metal. Right in the eye, dude. That
Again,
sucks.
the second knife. Okay, let's do this, girl. Come on. This time you have to.
Oh!
First off, a metal hanger right in your eyeball and then a knife right in your chest. That's gotta suck.
Yeah, seriously.
That's badass right there.
Scratched my fender!
What's the boogeyman?
Who's the booby?
Was it the
As
boogie?
a matter of fact, it was.
As a matter of fact, it was.
That's pretty creepy.
And for the one that's away from me.
Michael age 23, Michael age 6.
Yeah. That was one thing that was a little bit off about this movie. They had several people play him in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Castle was the main guy who plays him, but then when his mask gets pulled off, that's not Nick Castle, that's Tony Moran, so they kind of needed... I guess because Nick Castle at that time, if you look at him, he kind of has, I guess they said like a goofy-looking face. Kind of had like the curly, poofy-looking hair and just the dweeb face. And they said they wanted kind of more of a like serious-looking face if they were gonna mask him, so they brought in someone else to do that in a new shot of him when his mask gets flipped off. But
Jordan! Favorite scene?
that crochet needle scene. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty awesome.
Pretty
Oh,
awesome,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
When
yeah.
she stabs him in the neck with the crochet needle.
Yeah, he just comes out and comes with a knife.
I
Surprised her
totally
in
thought
her
it was
reaction.
like a regular purse till you mention it. I'm like, nuh-uh.
So, if you had to pick a particular scene in the film that you wanted to fix or do better, which one would it be?
All of it.
The very first, when you like see her, when you see him stabbing her,
Yeah,
it's like
the
this.
sister.
Then he kind of looks over and it's like this.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is going on?
You can't look away while you're stabbing somebody. It kind of
Right?
doesn't work that way.
It just
That's
as soon
fair.
like as soon as he turned and looked at the knife, you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Jason, you mentioned your favorite scene was the crochet needle scene, didn't you?
Yeah, but I also do like the scene where she totally puts the hanger in his eye.
Oh, the hanger
The
in
first
his
time
eye?
I saw
That's
that,
pretty
I was like,
awesome.
it's pretty genius because when you watch her at first, she's freaking out, she's taking her time, and then out of nowhere, she just looks at the coat hanger and just starts to unwind it. You're like, I don't know how many of us in her situation would think like that.
Yeah.
Would think that quick, like, you know, and then,
Hanger.
actually, and then have the nerve to actually stab it in someone's eye. You know, it shows she's like, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if you had to pick a scene from this movie that you wanted to do better, which would it be?
Quite honestly, get rid of the sex scenes, man.
Yeah.
I really don't think they're necessary in horror movies.
I agree with you.
I mean,
They're like rated R for nudity, and that's how they attract people. It's
I
like,
mean, it really isn't that necessary to me, honestly. It doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what I would fix or get rid of, honestly. Get rid of those.
That was just part of the 80s films was they had to have the 3 Bs,
They had
boobs,
to.
bullets, and blood.
That's
Yeah, but
true.
not just 80s. Like, I think that's what, like, oh my god, they're fucking, like, no one is gonna, like, mess with them or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
And then it always happens.
It always happens. They're always the first to go.
Right?
oh yeah,
So,
you can
anyway.
die.
What was your favorite scene? Will?
My favorite scene is still when she's in the closet. I mean, I've seen this movie. This is the 5th time I think I've seen it, and every time, like, my opinion's never changed. It's the scene when he punches his fist through the closet to go after her. He's like, "Hey, I can't get the door open, but I can take the door
You
down."
can take the door
yeah.
And I also did think, like, it's ingenious that she thinks to use the hanger, because that's not. I mean, even if I were trapped in a closet, that's not something I would think of. Would be, let's, untwirl the wire hanger and stab him in the eye with it.
Yeah.
But it was ingenious, and it worked really well for her.
Yeah. Saves her life. So.
I have to agree with you on the nudity, though. I mean, yeah, horror films always have nudity here and there, and sometimes it's easy to ignore. But in films like this, it's completely unnecessary, and it has nothing to do with the storyline. I think that if it's nudity for nudity's sake, then no, you don't need it.
Yeah. I agree.
Christina, what was your favorite scene?
Just that one.
Which one?
Which one?
The one in the closet.
Oh, the closet?
The closet's like
I
an
mean,
intense scene.
She was all like, ah, and then she's like, no.
Second scene for me is when he's like walking out of the shadows there. When you
Oh,
just
when
see
when
the
you
mask.
just see the
Hi.
mask.
That was pretty.
I'm
That
here.
was
Face
pretty
just
freaky.
peeks out. Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, how he just slowly, like, the light just illuminates that face, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, because you could have come from anywhere. You're just standing right there, you're like, oh, okay.
How quickly did these movies come out one after another?
I
They did one
believe
almost every single year.
This one was made, I believe, in. Oh, let me look at this real fast, guys.
It's 1985, isn't it? Or is this 1982?
1978.
Damn.
I believe the next one came out in like the early 80s.
Yeah.
So, which John Carpenter actually never had a vision for it to go any farther than that.
Yeah.
He wanted to leave it that ending of like you don't know where he's gone. But
I think the first Halloween is the only one that he ever directed, isn't it?
yeah, he directed the first one and that was it. He wanted to leave it at that, but people pick up on it. They wanted it, and then directors come by and they kind of have their own vision. I think I was talking to you, or I was talking to either one of you about that earlier. How the first couple of films, I feel like in those movies, like the franchises, like the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Friday the 13th, these ones, the first 2 or 3, pretty good, pretty solid, and then after that, they take off in such a bad direction because you get all these new directors with all these different views and their own visions, which you gotta give them credit for trying, but a lot of times they mess up stories or they try to add to a story or add to the character to try and build them, and you're like, you're making this too complicated.
Yeah, they don't synergize it right.
They don't synergize it right. You're like, you're making this way too complicated. Just leave it as is. That's just me though.
So, Jordan, is this your first time seeing this film?
That one, yeah. I think I might have seen like the second one or like the fourth one, but that was my first time seeing the first one for sure.
What would you score it 1 out of 10?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Definitely back in the day, if I was watching it, it might scare the hell out of me. I jump scared on a few of those parts. The window crashing right there when they got in the house, that scared the hell out of me. They got that on the rear view too. So I'd rate it out of 10. You say?
Yeah.
I'd give it a 7 or an 8. It's pretty good.
I'm fairly certain you're going to give it a good score because it's one of your favorite films.
It's the film that started me on horror movies. It's the one that got me going on it. So personally, I'd give it at least a 9.
A 9.
A 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's.
I'm up there with you. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because it's as campy as some of it is, and some of the ridiculous premises in it.
Yeah.
It's still a decent horror film, and apart from anything else, I can't deny the fact that I was entertained.
Yeah.
It kept my attention the whole time. So.